Fuck podcasts.
Yeah, fuck them entirely.
This was so hard.
That was such a bad idea.
Getting to where I am right now,
which is the very beginning,
is so hard.
It's impossible.
I had podcasts in the past, as you know.
Yeah.
And they were just more carefree. I did it with Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we would have kept doing them, but there were nothing close to how like organized and professional we're trying to do this one now.
We're trying to do it so properly, so well that it's become a detriment.
Yeah, I'm in the red currently.
We're in
financially.
Debt. Yeah,
these microphones aren't cheap, and either is the platforms we're hosting this audio on to make sure that it gets everywhere on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Is that what it's called?
And then
Apple?
We insisted on having a .horse domain, so that cost a lot of money.
.horse domains are so expensive.
Yeah.
But it would be too funny not to. So thank you for visiting all the space in between .horse. See,
our beautiful website.
All the horse girl traffic we're gonna get it's gonna pay
and
it back.
That's our target audience.
We start neighing. So prancing around the room on all fours and neighing for 45
This podcast is going to
minutes.
be, we're going to have a whole segment of me like hitting coconuts together to sound like horse. Yeah.
And me getting extremely turned on.
Anyway.
Are you familiar with the concept of clopping? Clopping, is that what it is? I have no idea why I'm bringing this up.
Here's the thing. It's one of those things that in my brain I know what it is, but there's a big like do not enter sign in front of it.
Let's enter it together.
Oh god.
Close your eyes.
Let's go through this door.
What do you think it means?
Oh, it's something to do with My Little Pony.
That's what I remember too.
Yeah.
I believe it's what they call, it's their equivalent to fapping. And it's called clopping, right? I'm sorry I had to say fapping on the show.
I hate that.
I know.
God, we're what, 2 minutes in?
My
And
dick
you've said,
retracted into my body. Yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
Anyway.
Podcasts
Welcome.
are hard.
Wait, yeah, okay. Let's prior to getting into this, because this is episode 1, we don't have any questions to answer.
Yeah.
No one knows we're doing this yet.
No. It's a sneaky little thing.
Podcasts are hard.
Yeah.
To like properly distribute and to have them hosted places, like it's we never wanted to be limited by certain platforms that would only host the last 100 episodes, because we see we would like to see longevity in this thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to do that. So we're thinking like really far ahead, like 2 years into the future.
We're thinking so far ahead. This is the biggest commitment we've ever made, assuming that we're going to be doing this podcast in 2 years.
Or together.
Even talking.
We could not be together and still be doing the podcast because all that ad money. We can't give it up, baby.
We're going to have to pretend that we're still together for the podcast, though.
But right down to the microphones, like, okay, picking out the microphones and then EQing them and having them sound good and removing the background noise and then the intro music, which we created like 4 different versions of.
We went through quite a few iterations of intro music.
Does this sound good? I don't know. It sounds too spooky. Okay, yeah, it sounds sure. Let's do this one. Sounds too happy. It was when we were thinking of the name of the show, all the space. Think about that while you make the thing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, no one cares. No one cares. But I spent days on a little jingle.
Yeah. And it's perfect.
And I love it. It's
perfect.
I do enjoy it a lot.
That's the fucked up thing, is that it's great.
It's really good.
Is that actually hard work and passion pays off in a nasty little twist of events.
Right. And then when creating the cover of this, we're like, well, we don't want to just use a font.
No.
We want to draw the font.
Yeah.
So now we're just
we want it to be like a little bit symbolic. So like, the word space is going to be like in between, and it's going to have like space inside the letters.
Yeah. So all the space in between, the word space is in the middle.
It's a little bit arty.
And it's a little bit quirky.
It's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll.
It's not rock and roll, but it's a little country. It's got a hard edge. It's got a handcrafted feel. It's a little bit artisan. But at the same time, it's a fucking podcast.
So who the fuck cares?
So who cares? No one's going to look at it.
No one cares apart from us.
Okay. Right down to getting the domain, getting the .com, snagging it. Not, all the space in between show, all the space in between podcast.
Dash
It's just
show
all the
underscore
space.
now.
It's the simplest thing to remember, and it's all the, and then there's a dash, space. So think of the word space. There's a dash.
Everyone's going to
space,
be so confused by the end of this. They're
in B dot, and this sucks, but tween. So tween is sort of the what are those things called? The
domain.
yeah, like the
extension.
End extension, yeah. So it's dot tween
.horse.
and then that wasn't taken, so I'm actually giving a small amount to whoever owns that. So it's slash podcast show.
That's
horse.
good and easy to remember.
Yeah. So if you just keep that in mind, and then the email, oh my god. The email, holy shit. Okay.
So it's all of
Take it
that
down.
at all of that.
It's all
You gotta type that out twice with that.
it's all of that at, and then that again in reverse. That'll forward it to my email, which is way simpler, but you cannot have it.
It shan't be given out. No.
Too personal.
Too personal. That's only for those